Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the September energy forecast. I am so excited to share this forecast with you today. The month of September is going to be a peak energy for 2023. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why. I'm going to talk a little bit about what energy you can expect, what's coming in, and some important dates. I always get into some of the important dates at the end. But really, my intention for this forecast is I want you to understand the energy that's swirling around you right now, to make sense of it so that you can decide to co-create with it in a mindful way, in a way that honors what your goals are, what your desires are, what you're working to create, and to build something with it, right? A lot of times people think the forecasts are, like telling you. And it's not that it's telling you, it's that it's providing an indication of like what the weather is. And then it's up to you to decide, how do I want to interact with that? We always hear that we are here to co-create, and this is true. This isn't passive information. It's up to you to choose, do I want to work with it or not? And it's completely up to you. I don't really believe in like fortune telling. And so often when we hear what looks like fortune telling, it kind of is this is my belief around the fortune telling. It is this idea that there are multiple timelines at play. Okay. And whoever is doing, the reading for you, they are picking up on one of the timelines, and they're telling you about one of the timelines. And that timeline might be highly likely, highly probable. Each timeline has like a degree of probability associated with it. But let me ask you this. Does that mean you're stuck on that timeline? Absolutely not. You have choice, you have free will, and you have co-creative abilities. So my intention with this forecast is to tell you what energies are coming up for you to choose mindfully. How do I want to play and how do I want to interact with these energies? So I encourage you, as you listen to this forecast, bring your intuition on board. Let your intuition co-create with this forecast. And if you hear something and you're like, yes, that's for me, that's what I needed to hear, great. Pick it up and run with it. That's for you. If you hear something else and you're like, that doesn't really resonate for me, no, that doesn't really work for me, great. That's not a timeline that you're willing to work with, or you choose to work with, or you would like to work with. That's totally fine. Disregard that. Let me know if you guys have any questions about this, because sometimes I've been hearing things lately that just make me want to reiterate how timelines work, how co-creation works. And I think it's really important going into a 7 energy month, because September is a 7 energy month. It's peak energy for 2023, which is a 7 energy year. So you've got the double 7 influence happening all month. What is 7? What is 7? 7 is your spiritual connection. 7 is the connection you have with your soul gifts, with why you're here, what you're meant to contribute, what energy your soul is longing to grow and explore into. So if you're someone who's like, I have this deep longing in my soul to explore these areas in life, this is your month to do it. This is your month to not be passive to that anymore. The thing that I love so much about 7 is all about leaping in and doing it anyway. Sometimes I refer to 7 as the leap of faith number. It's the number that builds the plane as they fly it. They do not need to know all the answers. They do not need to have every single plan step by step laid out. They just need to feel what they feel and do it. You're going to feel it in your heart. You're going to feel it in your gut. You might have no proof or evidence that the things you sense or feel are right or accurate or, whatever, put right in a big, massive air quotes. But you're like, I just need to figure this out. I just need to see what's on the other side. I just need to push the boundaries and look beyond what is being shown to me, or what is normal, or what is expected. And let me see on the other side of that. And that is why this entire year I have labeled the year of the Oracle, the year of expanding your oracular magic. What is oracular magic? Oracular magic is the ability to see energy, to be able to see beyond the 3D, right? To be able to see whether it's timelines, whether it's energy, whether it's guides or opportunities or anything like this. It's to be able to see beyond the three dimensions, right? To be able to see beyond what is maybe tangible, um, you know, in our typical senses, right? All of us, all of us have the ability to see energy, to see beyond. We all have oracular magic available to us. The question is, do you desire to expand that? So comment, let me know in the chat. Is oracular magic something you're looking to grow? Do you want to grow your intuition? Do you want to grow your ability to work with energy? Do you want to develop this as a gift? Yay, I see lots of you guys popping in and joining me. Hello, everyone. As you are, say yes, say hi, comment in the chat, share this out, invite your friends to join this community. I do these because I want all of us to have information available to us to empower us. And then what we do with that information, that's our own choice, right? Heck yes. Yes, 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 yes. Me too. That's actually what started this journey for me is I didn't think I had intuitive gifts, but I saw friends of mine who had them. And I was like, I want that. I desire that. And oracular, I think it's ORA, like an oracle, right? So I think it's oracular, ORA. But the ability to see auras, like AURA, that is an oracular gift, right? The ability to see energy as color or to see people's auras, whether it's through color or through image or through movement, right? It is essential to develop oracular magic at this time. I could not agree more. And I do believe that's why we are in this 7/7 energy this month, is to encourage that. So how do you know if you are being encouraged to develop that? Okay. How do you know? You do not tend to grow without some type of impetus, right? Whether it's a desire or a struggle. Okay. Some of us grow through the desire and some of us grow through the struggle, and some of us, it's both, right? Because often the thing you most desire, the flip of it or the inverse of it is the thing you're most afraid of. Okay. So if you are looking to understand and make sense of an incredibly difficult and confusing world, you're trying to look for information beyond the three dimensions, beyond what you can see, right? And touch. You're looking to understand beyond what is going on underneath, what is going on at the surface, what is going on at the energetic level. You're desiring that. And so likely, raise your hand if anyone else is feeling this way, you're confused. You don't understand why things are unfolding the way they're unfolding. It doesn't make sense to you. You might be experiencing some cognitive dissonance where you're like, on the one hand, this is what I'm being told. And on the other hand, this is what I'm feeling. And how do I reconcile these two? Right? You might be looking at the world around you going, this doesn't make sense. This can't be all there is. There's got to be something more to life than what I'm seeing. I do not believe the stories I'm being told about X, Y, and Z. I feel deep in my heart and deep in my soul, there's something beyond this. There's something more. There's something deeper. If any of you have felt those questions, I'm raising both my hands because it's like nonstop these days. What that is telling you is that's the impetus. That is the drive. That is the inspiration to look deeper, to understand how does my interpretation of the energetics play into the narratives, the stories, and the experiences I've been having, that I've been told, that I've been shown, that I've been seeing, right? And it's time to start to get curious about what else is going on. Yes, we are absolutely between worlds right now, and we are being encouraged to get more curious about the type of reality we want to co-create. And I really want to reinforce this idea that you, through your curiosity and the development of your spiritual gifts, your spiritual connection, your oracular magic, you are co-creating. It is through our contribution to this energetic field, this nebulous bubble of energy, that we're building something new. And it might be hard to sense and hard to see because it's not the way we've been taught, told, or conditioned to build things. But you are going to see evidence of it in all kinds of places this at this month, right? At this time in the month of September. So I encourage you to start to put that curiosity in your mind of like, I wonder if I could just follow my intrigue. I wonder if I could just see what's happening below the surface, that's happening at a deeper depth, that I could push myself beyond the boundaries of the norms and start to imagine I'm walking in the dark. All my senses are heightened. So I actually get deeper wisdom and knowledge, right? Sometimes I joke that 7 is like, when you're camping and you're sleeping in a tent and you wake up in the middle of the night and you have to go to the bathroom, like what's worse? If you turn your flashlight on, which makes all the dark edges seem even darker, or if you just keep your flashlight off and you move through the forest with the sense of your felt sense, all your other senses become heightened. And this is what we're doing right now. We are in, I don't really want to call it a dark place because I don't want to play into that vibe. But at the same time, many of us are experiencing difficulties and struggles in our lives. And that is having the effect of heightening your sensitivity and heightening your senses. And that is a good thing. That is a good thing that your sensitivity is being heightened, that your senses are being heightened. Do not make yourself wrong for it. Don't be like, oh, here I go with my emotions again, or here I go being overly sensitive. It's a gift. It is a precious, precious, precious gift. So own it, embrace it, work with it. That's my invitation for this month. What else do I want to say about 7 energy in September? I love 7. I'm a ruling number 7. If you are on the call and you are a ruling 7, or if you have 7 energy in your chart, pop it in the chat. Let me know. All of us are going through a 7 energy universal year. All of us are going in a 7 energy universal month right now. So 7 is going to be highlighted for everyone. Let's see. Let's get into the details. The energetics are incredibly important in 7. So taking time to drop into your body, 7 is a very physical number. So it wants you to be connected to your body. It is my belief that being connected to your body is how we activate deeper relationship with our felt sense, whether it's oracular magic, the ability to see, the ability to sense things, the ability to feel things, hear things, touch things, taste things, whatever that is for you. The more you drop into your physical body, the stronger it will get, the louder it will get, the easier it is to hear and feel and sense. So being connected with your body. And what does that look like for you? How do you connect with your body? For me, it's getting outside, going for walks, swimming in the lake, even though it's going to start to get cold, going for hikes, dancing, moving my body, but letting yourself be connected to your body, taking some deep breaths and grounding in, even just the simple act of like touching your body, giving yourself a hug, giving yourself a squeeze. I often use in my classes, tapping your thighs, tapping your feet on the ground to reconnect yourself to your physical being. This is going to heighten your ability to interpret the energies. So physical. The other thing is the energy that you move in is more important than the actual decisions you make. Okay. It is more important to tap into the energy of how you're choosing, how you feel when you choose. Are you doing it based on a fear, scarcity, overwhelm, which like no shame. We all make choices in fear, scarcity, and overwhelm when we're struggling, right? But the question is to recognize that you're there, mindfully decide, am I going to stay or am I going to dose myself with what I need to get out of this and start to move from a different energetic center going forward, right? So mindfully choosing, like, let me be where I am. Let me honor where I am, but let me decide, how long do I stay in fear mode? And how do I access love, abundance, expansion mode? Right? So that's a question to ask yourself. How do I access that? Maybe it's through connecting with a friend and having some co-regulation time. Maybe it's through dropping into your body and having something physical, right? Like a walk. Maybe it's having a bath, whatever it is, dropping back into your body to create a connection with love, abundance, and expansion, right? So the energy that you decide in is the most important thing. You are going to be faced with decisions this month. This is going to be fork in the road energy for a lot of us, where it's like, I can continue the old patterns, Or I can recognize that I'm at a fork in the road and I am just going to do it differently this time. Not because I know how it's going to turn out, not because I know what's at the end of this different path I'm going to take, but because I cannot stand to do it the same way anymore. I'm over it. I know where that road goes. I've been down that road 10 times. So I have no idea where this road goes. It could be great or it could be terrible, but I don't know. So let me seek the unknown. Let me put myself on the edge of my comfort zone and seek the unknown. That is going to be encouraged this month. You are encouraged to take risks. You are encouraged to push the boundaries. You are encouraged to try something different and put yourself out there in new ways. So if you're ever faced with a decision point this entire month and it's like, oh, I can do things the way I've always done them, or it's like, this weird and different way is like kind of intriguing and it might be a disaster. But for some reason, I'm intrigued. And I'm going to say it again, follow your intrigue. Follow your intrigue, right? That is so what's wanted right now. And trust yourself that your heart and your gut know the way forward and that the way forward is going to look different this month. The way forward is going to look different. And can we just acknowledge that that's a good thing? Can we acknowledge that we deeply desire some change? So if we deeply desire some change, we need to do things differently. We need to shake it up. We need to try something different. And choosing. So oftentimes people think trust, like the ability to trust your path, the ability to trust yourself, the confidence it takes to trust taking a risk, that's something that like gets bestowed upon us, right? It's not true. Trust is a muscle developed through habit. That's all it is. How do you develop a sense of trusting your own path, trusting your own self, trusting your own decisions, trusting your oracular magic and your intuition? How do you get to that point? No one is going to come along and be like, poof, you're good. From henceforth, you will trust. No. How do you develop trust in your intuition? Is you decide to trust your intuition and you follow through with what it is that you feel and sense. So if your intuition's like, I got to do this today, and you do it, it validates that feedback loop. And then you'll get more feedback, right? So it's a matter of like, do you honor what you know to be true in your heart and soul? And do you follow through with that? And the more you do, the stronger your trust will get, the easier it will be to push yourself and try these changes, right? That's how we move through this stuff. Okay. Yes. Change. Absolutely right. Let's do some change. Okay. So make a decision. Do it differently. I'm just looking at my notes. I always map the month out in this calendar where you can see all my crazy notes everywhere. So I'm just referring to them to make sure I'm telling you all the things I feel you want to know. If I'm missing anything, be sure to ask me. But let's go into a few of the important dates now. Hey, so particularly on September 2nd, this is a time. So that September 2nd, we're just a couple days away. September 2nd, Saturday. Okay. Saturday is a time to elevate your standard. This is not a time to compromise or settle for less. This is not the time to go for crumbs. This is not the time to minimize the goal or be like, let's be realistic. Freaking hate that advice. No, this is a time to be like, if I want an elevated experience, it's up to me to set the standard for an elevated experience. So on the 2nd of the month, make the choice to elevate your standards, whether it be put in some boundaries, whether it be dream, right? Dreaming is one of the greatest ways to elevate your standards. What do you fantasize about? What do you imagine? What could be possible for you? Start to daydream about it. Journal about it. Do some spell casting around it, right? Do whatever, like do a reading on that if that's what you want. Reach out to an intuitive and book a reading on that and be like, help me tap deeper into my higher standards, the exceptional life I desire, the income goals I have, whatever that is, right? But in order to access a higher standard for yourself, part of the work involves believing you're worthy of it. believing it's possible and believing it exists for you. And so one of my favorite kind of hacks for this is if I want something, like say, for example, I want to reach a certain income goal in my life, or say, for example, I want a certain type of love relationship in my life. I will look at the world around me and I will find evidence that it exists everywhere. I will look at the other brilliant, amazing, inspiring entrepreneurial women in my life. And I'm like, look at her killing it. She is hitting those 20, 30, 40, 50K months. Oh my gosh, look at that woman over there. She is balanced and grounded and playing with her children, and she's killing it in her business at the same time. This is amazing. And I celebrate them. And I experience a deep level of gratitude that they exist, because if they can do it, that means it's possible for me, right? So find examples. And if you don't have any of those examples in your day-to-day life, find them online, find them in people you follow, find them by joining groups, find them by reading books and listening to podcasts, right? If you want a certain type of relationship, find someone who has a podcast who has that type of relationship and listen to them and start to bring that believability into your life. Okay. A lot about standards. But this is the thing. If you want to create change and you want to go down that fork in the road where there's no proof and no evidence, you have got to have radical self-trust, radical belief in yourself and belief in what's possible. Otherwise, why would you do it? You wouldn't risk it. If you're like, oh yeah, that's not probably for me, or the odds of me getting that is like 1 in a million. Why would you go down that path? You have to have a degree of like, it's going to happen for me, right? This is what's going to happen for me. And that's why I go down the path, right? That's why I'm willing to take the risk. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper into this. What do I want to talk about next? I want to talk about next the 6th and the 7th of September. There's going to be this interesting back and forth dichotomy, back and forth paradigm shift of recognizing where am I entrenched in certain ways of doing things versus where do I want to do things a little bit differently, shift things up and let go of those old ways of doing things, right? So what are the habits and the patterns that I might have gotten stuck in the past? And how do I want to do it differently? This is really, really powerful if you're a teacher, leader, guide, if you're running a business, if you're sharing a message and you're talking to your clients about the old mindsets that were prominent in your industry versus the new mindset that you believe is going to be the factor for change, okay? And how that is going to play out in terms of self-worth, standard, and boundaries. So I talk about this even more in the Magical Magnetic Content community. So if you are someone who is an entrepreneur, is creating content, and you want to learn how to tap into the energetics of what's going on as you speak to your clients, that's in the membership, which is super easy and accessible at just $27 a month. So you can always reach out to me if you want to know more about that. The next date that I really want to tap into is the 9th of September. The 9th of September is actually 777. Okay, so 777, it's a 7 energy day, 7 energy month, 7 energy year. It's also an energy that is going to show you seeds, early signs, like little germinating plant sprouts, right? It's going to show you the new evidence of some of the decisions that you made on the 2nd. So on the 2nd of the month, you decided to put some boundaries in place and raise your standards. On the 9th of the month, you will start to see evidence of what your life could be like because of these new choices you made. Oh, I love that. Okay, I believe the new mindset is to turn outwards instead of inwards. Amazing. Whatever you feel it is in your line of work, it's your time to share and express that with people so that they can start to have like, oh, the old way wasn't working for me. I wasn't getting the results I wanted. What is the new way and how do I move that forward? I love it. Okay, so the next really significant date, you guys, this is an incredibly significant date, is September 12th. This is the start of a new manifestation cycle. And it's the start of the new manifestation cycle where if you are looking to channel, to speak to, guides, to work with intuition in even more deeper and profound ways, this is the time to dive deep into that. This is the time. So on the 12th of September, take a class, study something, develop a practice, read a book, go deep into your habits and your rituals and your ceremony, whatever it is that you need to do to build that skill within yourself to interpret energy, to build your oracular magic. starting on the 12th is a new manifestation, and it is all about tapping in to your ability to intuit and to interpret and to receive guidance, messages, and insight from the energetic plane. Okay, so this is really, really strong. On the 14th of the month, there's a new moon, and there's also going to be a very strong creative cycle around sharing and expressing your ideas. So if you like to write, or if you're an artist, or if you like to express in any way, maybe through movement, maybe through spoken word, whatever it is, now is the time. If you have products and services to share, I highly encourage that you use this window of opportunity to express that, talk about them, share about them, do a Facebook Live, create some content, whatever that looks like for you and your niche, do a speaking engagement, do a workshop, something to speak out loud and express the abundance of ideas that you have that get to support your soulmate clients. Okay. That's a big, big day for that. Okay. Let's see where else I want to go. The next date I really want to tap into is the 22nd of the month. This is going to be a very strong intuition day. This whole month is very strong with your intuition, but there's certain days that are really going to be peak. So if you're wanting to hear that even more, I encourage you to give yourself space and time. Your intuition cannot speak to you if you're overwhelmed, you've got podcasts running in the background, and you haven't given yourself any time to be still or to be silent. Okay. So on the 22nd of the month, take some time, go for a walk, journal, make some art, whatever that is, that will allow you to receive those insights as they come into you. They're going to be very strong. On the 25th of the month, there's going to be a strong shift and change in the way we relate. Okay. So that could be shifts in some of your actual relationships, whether it's like a love relationship or friendship or colleagues or whatever it is. It could be some shifts in that, which if you've been struggling in some of these relationships, a shift is welcome, right? But there's going to be some adjustments there for sure. And the adjustments are going to come about because you have started to set better boundaries for yourself and to raise your standard of self-trust. Okay. This standard of self-trust is going to want to grow and expand over the month. But again, this is up to you. Nobody can make self-trust grow for you. Self-trust grows for you because you show up for yourself, right? That's how self-trust grows for you. So if you've been showing up for yourself, particularly on the 25th of the month, you're going to start to see that there's going to be some external shifts where maybe your energy was compromised. Maybe the standards were suboptimal. Maybe people were taking advantage, or you were accepting breadcrumbs or whatever that was. And there's going to be some shifts that are actually going to allow you to elevate your experience. Trust your gut, trust your intuition, choose to trust your inner world more than what anybody else is telling you out there. Okay. Choose to trust your inner world more than what anyone tells you, right? This is so important. Part of the impact, I guess, of Sept Energy is this concept of self-authority, right? Of like, who has authority over me? Who gets to decide for me? Who, right? Who would you defer to versus choose within yourself? And I'm not saying you don't get to defer to people, receive guidance, receive insight, receive wisdom. The difference is consulting with them and you powerfully choosing versus outsourcing your power to them and letting them choose for you. Please don't do that. It's your choice. But I mean, in this month of Sept Energy, it is like trust yourself and choose yourself. That is so important. Okay. What else do I want to talk about? The 28th and the 29th, there is going to be a radical expansion of love energy. My belief around love energy is it's directly related to your power center. So when I see love energy expanding, it's because my power center is expanding. And that will filter out to how I relate with people. So it can affect my love life. It can affect my relationship with my children and my family and my friendships and all of that. It will definitely affect your relationship with your clients and your business and your income, right? Because the more you own and claim who you are, your gifts and your power, the more that stuff will start to grow and expand with you. So recognizing that there's going to be some illumination around how you can own more potently and more powerfully who you are and letting go of some of those limiting experiences and thoughts and the patterns that maybe kept you kind of small, right? So use that. That's a full moon on the 29th. Use that full moon to step into your power and to release some things that maybe held you back. And on the 30th, you guys, we actually end the 30th of the month. We end the month with a very interesting energy, which is saying that I am going to start a new cycle today on the 30th of September. I'm going to start a new cycle today. And in that new cycle, I'm going to choose a level of unconditional love for myself. It is no longer about self-criticism or judgment of my past. It is no longer about comparison to people in my world of like, well, they did it better and I did it worse and they did it worse and I did it better. It's not about that. It's about choosing of yourself and seeing of yourself to the highest standard and love that you possibly can. For some of you, this might look like inner child work, right? For some of you, this might look like a deeper level of self-acceptance. But there's a new cycle that's starting on the 30th where you claim that to an even greater degree. And the more you choose yourself, the more your oracular magic is going to grow. So if you are one of those people at the start of this call, it was like, yes, I'm here for it. Yes, I want to grow my oracular magic and my intuition. Recognizing that you're doing the work this month to get there. And the work isn't always going to be easy. God, I wish it could be, right? I wish it could be. Sometimes it's a matter of asking myself, what about this can be a little bit lighter? What about this can be a little bit softer and a little bit more playful? But if that feels like a stretch to you right now, it's okay. It's okay, right? That's when we take on the affirmation that Glennon Doyle has of like, I can do the hard things. I maybe don't want to all the time, but I can, especially if it means choosing myself to elevate my circumstances. Okay. That's basically the energy of the month. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know, what's the thing I said today, the thing you heard today where you're like, I needed to hear that. Well, that was the bit that stuck home to me, that really hit me in the heart, that I'm going to do something with. Maybe you're going to take the dates and pop them in your calendar. Maybe you're going to think about what goals you have for the month and kind of map it out against the energy. If you are someone who is writing content, whether it's social media, emails, coursework, whatever that looks like, and you want support to do that, join the Magical Magnetic Content community, my membership community, which is only $27 a month, where we do that together every single month, including we have something I call Writing Temple, which is where I actually create an energetic temple to write in. And people have been so in love with this process. It's super fun. It's very energetically based, but you tap into the flow of writing where you can create beautiful content with ease. And I teach a very simple process that I call one idea into a week's worth of content, where you basically take one concept, one idea based on the numerology prompts I share with you, and you use that to tap it into a week's worth of social media content pretty quickly. Like a lot of people can do this process in 30 minutes to an hour max. So anyways, that's what we do it. The other thing I do want to kind of just let you guys know is that in the beginning of October, I am going to be running a free numerology class. So as long as you're connected to me on socials or connected to me on email, you'll receive the notification on that. But in the start of October, I'm going to be teaching a class about using numerology to tap into alchemy, right? To create alchemy using numerology. So that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be totally free. I'm super excited. I love these trainings because we always get an incredible turnout, lots of great participation, and a lot of new people coming in to learn. Yes, advanced numerology is the new idea in my life. So I am starting my advanced numerology immersion on the 12th of September. And we spend 5 days together over a stretch of 2 weeks where we go deep into understanding the energetics, understanding the detailed versions of forecasting, understanding planetary influences, understanding how to do intuitive pulls using numerology, as well as doing destiny readings, soulmate contract analysis, all that kind of stuff. So if that's anything that intrigues you at all, let me know. I typically keep my advanced numerology by invite only. But I am feeling called to talk about it right now. So there might be somebody here who is like, that's me. I need to talk to you. If you do, reach out. I'm happy to hop on a one-on-one call and we can actually peek into your advanced numerology chart and just see what are the energies showing you that are going to be highlighted over the next few months. And if learning a new magical tool is one of them, there you go. You can decide what you want to do with that. I love that. The ninth energy coincides with me stepping into my courage. Absolutely. I love that so much. Amazing. My takeaway is to trust myself. Yes, I know the way. Yes to community. How do I join? Amazing. So if you are not in my community and you want to be in my community, send me a DM and I will send you all the details. I have the free community called, I'm completely blanking on what it's called. I have a free community as well as I have my numerology community, and my next practical numerology certification will be starting up middle of October. So if any of you are like, I am in for the next round of practical numerology certification, send me a DM. There's always pre-sale discount because I haven't publicly started sharing that yet. And advanced numerology is, I can't even tell you how much advanced numerology has felt like it's literally saved my life. That sounds dramatic. I get it. But, to just kind of give you a personal anecdote on how advanced numerology saved my life, not to be dramatic, but I was in a 20-year relationship with 3 children, and my marriage was crumbling. Keep in mind, I had lived with this man since I was 17 years old, and I knew nothing else in my adult life than this relationship and our 3 children. And our marriage was crumbling, and I spiraled, you guys. I spiraled. I went into some very difficult and dark places where I was like, who am I? What is this life for me? Like, can I even move forward? Can I even create the life I want? Is what I want even possible? Like, I think I want this stuff, but who am I to want this stuff? Right. And those were the questions and the thoughts that I was having on a regular basis. And so, what I would do is every single morning, I would open up my chart, my advanced numerology chart, which can give very detailed and very specific information. And I would look at it and I would ask myself those questions of like, what energy is available to me? And I would look and I would be like, oh, here's where I can find some hope today. I can see an opportunity in this energy. I'm going to lean into that energy. Or deep in my soul, I wish this was true about me, and I don't know if it is. I would look into my chart and I would be like, is there any evidence in my chart that this could be true for me or this could be my reality? And sure enough, it was there. And so when I was spiraling of living this very difficult experience, I would go to my advanced numerology chart over and over and over again to remind me who I was, that I was literally built for this, that I was capable, and that the things that in my soul I longed for, they weren't a tease. They were real. They were in my chart. I just had to be willing to co-create to have them. And now here we are, 5 to 6 years later, after all that went down, and the things that I secretly wanted and didn't even think were possible for me are now freaking daily life. And I can't even say how much having that wisdom and guidance at my fingertips all the time has created opportunity for me. And then, of course, I do these readings for my clients. People come to me and they're like, okay, Megan, I want to do this type of business. I want to write a book. I want to find love. I want to grow a family. I want to increase my income with these different products and services. A lot of people come to me for business numerology readings. That's kind of my specialty, being that I love business and I have a master's in economics. And so I can help them map out when's a great time to launch, when's a great time to do a training, when's a great time to do a workshop, when's a great time to take a vacation and rest. You can see that in people's charts. It's very powerful. Okay, I will send you the free link. Thank you for being here. I would love it if you could share this out with any of your friends who you think would benefit from this forecast. Add them to the group, tag them, share this out on your platforms. It is accessible on YouTube as well. So sometimes that's an easy link to share. And if you have any follow-up questions, whether you're watching me live or on the replay, come back and post and let me know. Tag me so I can answer you. If you're like, what about this date? What about that date? Let me know. I'm totally here for you. I really want you guys to feel as empowered as possible to make September be the month where you expand your self-trust and you start to grow your skill set at whatever level that you're at now to something even greater. That's my wish for you. Sending you so much love, mwah, and we'll see you soon. Bye.